Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. And guess what Jay Lee doing? She's moving the camera. You know how I be. Y'all know how I do sometimes. This is my review for Teen Mom Season 8 episode something. I didn't write it down. Now I feel like looking for it because it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. I hope everyone had a good day. Put how your day was in the comments. Yes, I'm a little out of it because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to get this done in about 20 to 30 minutes, not more than 30. So, you know, this episode was pretty chill. I'm going to end it with Brianna, okay? Just know that. I'm going to end it with Brianna and the shit that happened. Easy story. Chelsea had a reception. I don't know what else to say. You know, she had a reception. They all looked nice. The dress she wore was nice. The dress everyone had was nice. They took tons of photos. You know, it was great. They showed how Aubrey did like a little voiceover doing Cole and Chelsea's first dance, where she just basically, you know, thanked Cole for making her mom happy and also giving her baby brother, saying how she loves Cole and she's happy that he's nice and that he married her mom and that she loves him, which is so beautiful, so nice. And also thanked her mom for always taking care of her and always putting her first. That was very cute. That was Chelsea's whole show. Okay, next. We see Kale had the baby. She didn't film it. She had a baby boy, as we know now. The baby in the episode, she hadn't named him yet. We see how Joe had Isaac at the time and how Javi had Lincoln. And so they both told the boys, you know, your mom had the baby, it was a boy, and everything. And Kale went home a couple days later. She, you know, they showed Javi got there first, Javi with Isaac. It was very weird for me seeing Javi see Kale with the baby and with Isaac. And even though I know Javi said he was over the whole thing with him and Kale and how they wanted to have a baby, you know, all this, you know, was the whole thing. And he said he was over that, you know, it was a whole different thing. He's okay. Seeing him, now I don't know, it could have been editing again, but seeing him watch her, for me as a fan of the show, was a little like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Javi did still love Kale and he wanted to work it out. So I know for him it had to be difficult or different seeing her sitting there with the brand new baby and their son sitting there in the pretty little picture. And, you know, he kind of, you know, it wasn't his child. So that was, for me, I felt like, oh, Javi, like I want Javi to find someone to be happy. You know, I really hope I hope that happens. But it was cool to see how her and Javi were able to just kind of have conversation. Like they were civil to each other. You know, he asked her how she was doing, and she was like, you know, I'm okay. She brought up how she didn't have to have an epidural, how the baby was small, you know, how, you know, how Lincoln was her bigger baby, you know, how she pushed the baby out in 2 hours, her water broke at like 1, she had the baby at 3, so, you know, that kind of stuff. Then we saw Joe and Isaac and V and baby Vivi, you know, Joe's daughter. And it was a beautiful thing to see Kale, you know, Isaac and Lincoln, Joe, V, their daughter, and Javi, just kind of all in the same house in that moment, not arguing, not fussing and fighting. Kale wasn't being a bitch to either one. She wasn't kicking Javi out, saying, get out. Don't, you know what I'm saying? It was a very family moment. Very much a blended family. Now, I don't know how long that blendedness is going to last. I do hope it lasts a very long time. I really hope they can all work it out some kind of way. But I feel like that it's going to come from Kale growing up mentally and knowing everything is not about her. And I think once she realized everything isn't about her, she won't have as many issues with Javi or Joe. I also think because as we kind of see or thought it could be how the new baby daddy Chris isn't around as much, she gonna need Joe and Ivy more anyway. So we gonna see how that plays out. And she was just talking even to all of them. We see how Joe and V brought food for everyone to eat. You know, that was great. We see how she was talking about, yeah, Chris came to the birth. You know, he was there the whole time. He kind of helped me. He was rubbing my back. I did say to myself, the reason she didn't film the labor was probably because Chris was there, and we know Chris don't want to be on camera. So when she said initially, you know, I went in labor and I figured out I didn't want it filmed, I feel like she didn't want it filmed because she wanted Chris there, and she knew if Chris was there, he wouldn't want to be filmed. So if she filmed, he would leave. So she made the choice not to film because she wanted Chris there. That's just my personal opinion. But, you know, congratulations to her and her baby, and let's hope it all works itself out. You know, who knows? Janelle got married. You know, okay. We see, you know, 'cause the last episode was really with her and David arguing, kicking the film crew out. We see they playing nice now. You know, Janelle says how they worked out her issues off camera. I feel like they work out the issues off camera because David probably beats her and tells her to shut up and do what he says off camera, and then she's fine. That is just I wish Janelle the best in life. I really hope he doesn't beat her. But in the back of my mind, I feel like he might beat her. It's crazy. But, you know, she got married. You know, she was kind of sad that Barb wasn't there. But, you know, no one from her family was there, as she said, because no one supports her and David. And that's the reason they weren't there. I mean, I get that. You know, when you are in love with someone and the people don't support your love, you don't want them around. But sometimes people don't support your love because it's unhealthy and you don't see that yet. So, you know, maybe one day we'll all be proven wrong. People who think David is a piece of shit and he's nothing, and that he's just beating Janelle and he's no good. Maybe we will all be proven wrong and he'll be the best thing for her. Or we could all be right, and she'll have to divorce him in a couple years because he's an asshole. I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. I just feel like he beats her. And I think that's horrible. And I don't want it to be true. That is kind of how it seems. Like, it seems like they have a weird, abusive relationship in some sort of way. And that even if he's not physically abusive, he's definitely verbally and mentally abusive. You know what I'm saying? So I just want the best for Janelle. I want Janelle to have a healthy relationship. So, you know, it is what it is. She put a dress on. She looked great. He looked nice. The kids looked nice. You know, David kept saying how, you're my stepkids now. It's like you're my real sons. When you're a step parent, you don't use the word stepchild. You know, that's just your child. When you embrace being a blended family, you don't need the word step. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. So, you know, David cried as she walked down the aisle. You know, it was a nice little ceremony. That was about it. I mean, nothing else really happened for that. You know, it was a small scene where they showed Barb talking to her friend. The same friend was telling her before that she needs to forgive David and be nice to David. And that same friend was saying the same thing. You know, Barb was saying how she's still upset because she wasn't invited to the wedding, and she just feels like David, you know, is the one to blame for breaking up her and Janelle. I feel two different ways about, well, I might feel three different ways about that. One, David is to blame about 25% of it. 2, Janelle is to blame about 25% of it. 3, Barb is to blame about 25% of it. The other 25% is all misconception, misunderstandings, and people not being able to accept the bullshit they put into it. See what I'm saying? I think that last 25% is all of their faults collectively, also with all of their faults separately. And, you know, maybe a couple years down the line, Janelle will be able to talk to her mom. Because I just feel like when you... I don't know. Because, you know, sometimes as a child, when you feel like your parent didn't do something wrong or right, and you choose not to be around them, that's your choice. So I guess I can't say, oh, she should make up with her parent. Because, you know, I might not make that same decision in life later. You know, I don't know about that. I do feel like I want them to be better because I feel like Barb tried to be there for Janelle in her own way, and her and Janelle just are so much alike, they consistently bump heads. And I think that's why they don't get along, because they are so much alike. So I don't think that Barb is completely right or completely wrong. I do think Janelle is way more wrong than Barb. I do. I don't care what nobody says. I think Janelle is totally crazy to not realize how much her mom helped her by taking Jace. And, you know, Janelle is horrible to her mom. But, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, she's married now. You know, may peace be with her. Oh, Leah. See how forgetful I was? Leah's thing was easy too. The kids went to school. I mean, that's all it was. Addie started preschool. You know, she wanted Addie's father to be there, Jeremy to be there. He said he would try to be there. He ended up not being able to be there because he had to work. But his mother showed up, which is always great when a grandparent can show up and be helpful to when a parent can't be there because of work. And that was really it. She dropped the kids off to school. It was Addie's first day at school, and Addie had a good day. Addie did, at the end of the day, come get in the car with all the other kids, with, you know, Allie and Aaliyah, and they were talking about their school bus ride, and Addie said, well, Gracie said a bad word on the bus. She said bullshit. I said, damn it. Did she? She said bullshit. Okay. And, you know, it was a cute moment. And, you know, Leah was like, you know, you can't say that kind of word, but you also shouldn't tell on your sisters, which is true. She said, you and your sisters should have secrets. I don't think she should have said that. You know, because Saul's secrets ain't good secrets. I wish she would have said that in a different way, but I get exactly what she meant. And that was Leah's whole story. On to the shit with Brianna. Brianna is the cause of her turmoil in her life. I really believe she is. Mainly because she allows other people to cause turmoil in her life. You know, we see how it's Nova's first day at school. And her mom, her, and her sister all took Nova to school. Cool. Nova's crying a little bit, as all kids do. I remember my first day of first grade. I didn't want to be there so much. After I was dropped off at school, I walked home and like hid in the front of the house in the bushes. It was hilarious. And I had to get taken back to school because it was funny. But yeah, you know, she's crying a little bit because, you know, it's her first day of school. She was a little bit nervous. When she gets out of school, you know, she was fine. When she gets out of school, you know, her mom is there, her grandmother is there, her aunt is there, and her dad is there. And, you know, Brianna's mother and sister, oh my God, why is he here? Because this is his fucking daughter, okay? That's why he's there. Oh my God, why does she have a do-rag on? Because he's a black man, and black men wear do-rags, okay? You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone. And from there, you know, Nova was happy to see her mom and her dad. That was a great thing. You know, next, they all go out to eat. Nova wanted her dad to come because Nova loves her dad. We clearly see that Nova loves her dad. So Nova wanted her dad there. So while they were at dinner, her mother, they were asking him about his work stuff or whatever. He brought up how he had currently or recently started working a second job, doing landscaping stuff. And so then Brianna was like, oh, so you got 2 jobs. And he said, well, yeah, kind of, because I just started this new one, but I think I'm going to let the one that went Dixie's go because his landscaping job is better. Brianna pissed off because he got 2 jobs. And from there, she's like, there's no reason for you to have 2 jobs and you don't help me financially with Nova. I agree. You know, a man should not have 2 jobs and not help you at all financially. I completely get that. You know what I'm saying? He then admitted that he's just recently being stable. To me, when a man says that, what that means is, I ain't been stable, I ain't been working in a while. I'm just now getting stable so that I can help you financially. And what he said was, I just started a second job. And Brianna act like he said, I've had 2 jobs for the past 5 years. I just ain't give you no damn money. That's how she acted like he said. I don't know if that's what she heard in her head. And I think when a man says, let's be honest, I just got stable, he's admitting I ain't been doing good from before, but I'm on a better path now and I'm getting stable. I just got a second job. And when Brianna just kind of snapped and said that, he was like, well, there ain't no way I'm going to have 2 jobs and I'm giving you money, but Nova can't come to my house. I absolutely agree. You can't expect a person to pay you child support and they don't get to see the child. And the only time they get to see the child is if they come to your house. I feel like parents should have equal rights when they're trying to co-parent. If you want to let Nova have both parents around, let him spend some time with his daughter. I feel like, this is my personal opinion, okay? Don't come after me. When a person can't financially afford to do as much as they can for a child, that doesn't necessarily mean that one parent should not let them see the child. You know what I'm saying? I don't think because a guy don't have the money to give you for child support or help support the child financially, because they don't have a job, they don't have the money, that you should be like, well, if you're not paying me child support, you can't see her. If you want to see her, come to my house. But that's it. You can't take her nowhere. Nova is in preschool. She's, 6 or 7 or what? I don't know how old you are in preschool. 5, 6, 7 or whatever. There's no reason that he's saying she hasn't been to my house and I want to see her. And then Brianna said, well, she not coming over there because she don't know your family. Well, why don't you help her get to know the other side of her family? Nova is half black, half whatever nationality that Brianna is. She needs to know both sides of her family, especially if y'all are currently trying to co-parent. I'm not talking about anything that happened before they've been on this reality show. Since they've been on this reality show, it seems like he's been coming around more and y'all trying to co-parent. But part of co-parenting is trying new things, letting her see the other side of her family, seeing how responsible he can be. You can't keep hindering him and making reasons as to why he can't see her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a little bit of give and take. And he is saying, I haven't been stable. I'm trying to get stable. I'm trying to be around. Don't shoot him in the foot for it. So, when he's saying, I'm not paying, I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't have 2 jobs and can't see her. And she's saying, well, she can't come over because she don't have your family. And from there, he's like, I'm not going to be paying you all this money and I can't ever take her with me and I can't ever spend time with her. Why do I have to always come over your house and why do I have to always come over there and just sit around to see her? I want to be able to spend time with her on my own. I agree. That's her dad. And again, he's trying. You have to give a person, the E for effort, And it kind of got crazy, from that point on. And he brought up how, they were arguing at this point. And I'm looking like, how y'all arguing about Nova in front of Nova? Because Nova's sitting right there as they going back and forth about child support, about him not being stable, about how, she can't go over there because she don't. I'm like, why are y'all having this conversation in front of Nova? And I feel like Brianna and her mom kind of started the argument to that point. Just because all he said was he just started another job. And y'all went into, why you not paying child support? Why you can't help me? Why y'all doing all that in front of the baby girl? So from there, we see that they have the sister taking over to go play somewhere. And now she's getting up to leave. But I'm like, damn, what y'all already done? And he's like, all you do is talk crap about me. All you do is talk shit. And he, like, I don't talk about you. And I'm thinking this is happening because he has now seen the first episodes of the season. when she was talking bad about him. And it's true. And he was like, you know, you on camera talking about how I suck ass and how my first baby daddy ain't shit and he suck ass. Maybe you suck ass. And I'm like, that's okay. That was different. Calm down, little boy, calm down. You know, she just said, well, you do suck ass. Both of y'all suck ass because I'm taking care of both kids on my own. Hold on. That's your problem. Because when you were struggling the first time with Nova, you chose to have a second baby. And you chose to be with a man who didn't have shit the second time. Now with Divine, okay, fool me once, whatever. But when you got with Lewis didn't have shit. He didn't. And you got pregnant. You should have been smart enough to not do that. And then you let this man convince you to have a baby. I mean, you really did. And you did it when you were already struggling. And that was your cross to bear. So, she's like, you know, y'all suck ass because I take care of both my kids. She do. But you struggling. And you living with your mama. So, you trying to get your life in order the same way they trying to get their life in order. The only difference is mama's baby, daddy's maybe. And that's not fair at all. But you should have thought about that before you got pregnant with another child. When you weren't stable. You weren't. And you had a second baby with a man who wasn't taking care of his first baby. That's on you. That was your decision. So, it got even worse. He like, you know, you suck ass. You run men out of your life. It's your fault because you do this to each man that you with. And she's like, that's not true. I'm not with Lewis because he cheated on me and I don't want to be with him. And I think she didn't even get what he said. Because it wasn't about why you and Lewis ain't together. It's about even though y'all not together in a relationship, you run men away because of how y'all act. And he went from there to, because her mom was like, why y'all arguing? I'm like, mama, just be quiet. Just, you know, you need to just stay out of it real quick. Just let them talk. And he then says, you know, I'm not about to let you disrespect me. You know, you've been saying all this crazy stuff, you know, but as you talking bad about me, Nova's still saying, where's my dad? I want to see my dad. He's like, if I'm such a bad father, why does she love me so much? You know, because I'm around and she loves me. He then says, you know what I'm saying, you don't even have a father in your life. You don't add to your father, but you don't say your father sucks ass. I said, well, God damn it, ain't that a point? Point for Divine. Because it's true. We don't know nothing about the daughter's, Brianna, her sister's father. All we know is there is no father figure in their lives that we see. And I guess him saying that is he's also saying, I know that your dad ain't in your life. And you not sitting around talking shit about your father who not around. So why y'all sitting around talking about me in front of my daughter? I get that. You should never talk bad about a man in front of his child. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't. And she does it all the time. And I'm like, he's seen that. But when he said that, you don't even have a father in your life. You don't know what it's like to even have a father because you don't have one. Her mama was like, no, hold on. What you talking about? Shut up. She stands up on the bench of the table of the restaurant. I'm like, why you stand up on? I mean, I get if you would have just stand up and get out from the table, but you stood up on top of the seat of the table as if you was gonna kick him in his face. But she stood up as if she was gonna kick him or jump on him. And Brianna like, oh my God, mom, calm down. Security come and get. Cause she was acting as if she was going to attack him. And he was like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm over it. I'm done. So, security moving her back. They trying to get him out of there. He's saying this is some bullshit. This is what they do. I'm tired. She's telling him, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Fuck you, bitch. I was trying to be civil. I'm like, but where did this come from? Because he wasn't even talking to you. He was talking to Brianna. He wasn't talking to you. So you got so up in arms that he said out loud, your daughters don't even have a father in their life. That's what pissed her off. And my thing is, but this is what everybody been thinking all season. It was. But, the way her mother acted is how Brianna was raised. And how the sister was raised. And that's why they act like that. And that's how Nova's going to act. Because that's what she sees. And, he walks out. He taking his mic off. Fuck this shit. I'm tired. He's throwing the middle fingers up and stuff. Onto the cameras. And it was crazy. So, this is happening, and Brianna's sitting there looking stupid like, because y'all could have had a civilized conversation. And when he said y'all be disrespecting me, I mean, y'all were. Even though he's not a good father, he hasn't been a good father in the past, he's trying to be now. But even in the midst of him trying to be better, y'all still dog the shit out of him. And y'all do it in front of his daughter. And only a father who loves his daughter would get pissed about being degraded in front of his daughter. So, I mean, I'm happy Devon spoke up for himself. I'm happy that he was able to admit he hasn't been the best person. He hasn't been stable. But he's trying to get stable now, and he's saying, you know, I just want to spend time with my daughter. I don't want to pay you child support, and then you still keep her away from me. I think that's not fair. And, I mean, I get it. I get it. And I also get Brianna being a single mother who's struggling. But when you are a struggling single mother of one, you shouldn't have another baby. You shouldn't, and then you can't have a second baby and then want to put that stress on the first baby's father, because the second baby father ain't shit either. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So I think she was kind of putting the stress that Lewis was kind of putting on her, because he's not around either. And I think her mom was just frustrated about her daughter's situation, that everyone overreacted. Everyone overreacted. Period. But I was like, she stood up on the goddamn table like she was gonna fight and kick this man in his face. Like, you are a grown adult woman. Who does that in public, in front of your granddaughter? You gonna get up and act like you gonna fight her father? I'm like, that is just such dysfunction on so many levels that it's crazy. And, you know, after the fact, they outside, her mama crying like, oh my God, I can't believe that, you know, I wasn't trying to be that way. I would never want Nova to see me act like that. But she do every day. That's how you act. No, I'm not gonna say every day. That's how you act around any of Brianna's baby, either of Brianna's baby daddies. That's what you do. That's her grandma. She wasn't surprised, because if she was surprised, she would have been crying. When kids see people in their lives act out of character, it scares them. If your parent is having some kind of episode of arguing and fussing and fighting, and you don't get what's happening, you scared, because you're not used to them being that way. Nova is used to all of them acting like that. And that is why when it was happening, she wasn't crying. And she wasn't gone. She was still around because she saw it. She's used to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if Nova had a reaction, they would have showed her. They would show how she reacted to it. They didn't show because she had no reaction. Because she's used to it. It is what it is. So, you know, she says how, you know, but he was being petty and he was being childish and it made me snap. You know, we worked so hard to be civil and now it's all ruined. And I'm like, but when was you civil? Like, you know, Brianna then said how she only got mad because he brought up how he had a second job. That shouldn't make you mad. You can still have a civilized conversation. You know, she says, you know, I'm already struggling with 2 kids, but I'm happy I filed for child support. If you were struggling with 1 child, you should not have had a second one. I can't stress that to anyone. I've always said that if you are struggling with 1 child, don't have another one. Hell, if you're struggling with yourself, don't have a baby. Okay? Because it's not fair for the kids to suffer for it. And you can't blame someone else because you can't take care of something. Or take care of someone. Because we all know, even though it is not fair at all, men always have the option to not be around. And no, that's not fair. No, that's not right. It's not right at all. It's just a fucked up reality that some people have to face. So if you cannot take care, if you can't move out on your own and pay rent on your own, you don't move out on your own. You don't move into an apartment that you only can survive and live there on a 2-person income. You got 1 income and now you're struggling. You can't get mad if someone else isn't there to help you pick up the slack. You move to a place that you can afford to do it on your own. If you can't afford to take care of a child on your own, just in the off chance that the person you pregnant by ain't there, you shouldn't do it. Okay? And that's just common sense. Because at the end of the day, you can be married for 15 years and your husband can leave you. You can be married for a day and your husband can leave, or the wife can leave. We have single fathers too. Things happen, but I think both parents or both people need to always understand, I hope that you here. But if you ain't here, I'm good either way. That's the way to live life, to make sure that you never have to depend on someone else for you to be okay. I ain't mean to go off like that, y'all. I'm sorry. But, I just got kind of heated. So, they do show Devon come back and he talked to a producer. And they're like, well, what do you think went wrong? What happened? And he's like, look, I feel like they don't need men around. I feel like they never have. And when I brought up how, when I brought that up, how they don't need men around, how she don't have her father around, he like, that was their trigger. For some reason, they made it, she got mad as if that was the worst thing I could ever say, but it's true. I said, he's not lying. It is true. He says, they make me out to be the worst person. I don't feel like I'm the worst person. If I was, I would just not be around at all. They've always been very disrespectful, and they've been disrespectful in front of Nova, and I hate that. It's true. People been saying it all season. So he then says, I'm happy she put me on child support. He like, because for me, I feel like if I'm paying child support, she then can't tell me that I can't see Nova, and I can probably get some kind of rights to see her and get like some visitations. So, and that's kind of how the episode went off. So it was, Brianna's thing. I'm like, her mom, I could not believe her mom did that. It was crazy, okay? Completely crazy. But, it was the season finale, so we know that next week is the reunion. I hope Dr. Drew asks real questions and he don't let the ass off easy. I really, really, really hope he do. Because if he don't, I'm going to need MTV to let me do the reunion shows, okay? So, that was my review of Teen Mom 2. I will be doing the reunion recap, review, and I will be doing Teen Mom OG when it comes on too. So, it's currently 3:25 in the morning. So I'm about to get this uploaded, and I will see you guys next time. I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner.